The time goes by so naturally. Wait. After this quick dose of nostalgia, let's begin for real. Time does indeed go naturally. So it means that it goes faster and faster with age as our perception of it changes. If it comes to Starsector, I remember not so long ago people absolutely loathing hegemony. Why? Because they made people pay taxes. Oh wait, wrong faction, not canon. People hated them because of endless AI inspections. Now, with the new colony crisis system, we don't hate them as much, because finally, after a few inspections, they end. And hegemony only goes after our colonies if we put AI cores there. If we don't, they don't do anything, they don't care, unlike other factions. Hello, I'm the Steel Merchant, and today I will go through the lore of Persean League, those bullies who were heroes a few patches ago. How times change. Chaos and freedom, such were two gifts of the collapse of the Gate network. Without authority of the domain, in the form of domain battle group, those two gifts were left to prosper. Independent worlds rose and fell, some much better suited to survive by their own, like paradise worlds of Hanan Pacha and Mariav. Others, although lacked what they needed, had the means to take it. And then there were those planets which could supply the demand that way, ensuring their survival. Factions fell and rose, like the Ludic Church. Triticians spread their influence and went completely crazy if it comes to development of AI. Most factions, however, simply secured their independence and position. Until cycle 49, Persean sector probably looked something like this. There were many independent worlds, many struggling, while some thrived. Ludic Church secured their position. Opus stood strong in Asconia, and Mariav and Hanan Pacha were blind to the chaos around. Tritician continued their long-term plans, and Forge World of Khazorn survived, probably by supplying ugly worlds with protection and hulls, surely also extorting what it needed. In cycle 49, this changed as 14th battle group arrived. Quickly hegemony was proclaimed by the 14th battle group, and the southeast part of the sector was taken over. Planets behind the polity of Opis and Maasuria remained independent, as did others. However, threat of hegemony taking over fully, stripping them from independence, was real, and became so when Mariav was taken over in cycle 82. This brutal takeover of the planet was the last straw. The League was formed a year later, and its first action was to push hegemony out of the Maasurian system. This was successful, and planet of Mariav was incorporated into the League. The last thing the League can be called is being heroic, but in this one moment, because of necessity, it could be called so. Don't think that the League is a power, a force fighting for freedom. It's fighting for freedom of its members. It doesn't really care about bringing other planets into its fold from other factions, like hegemony. Neither does it fight against other factions for control over planets. The League didn't intervene in the Asconian crisis unlike hegemony. It would have protected it if Opis and other planets joined it and were a part of it. Freedom of member states of the League is in question. Their freedom is not complete. Some planets have more of it than others. This depends on their population and power. Planets of smaller size like Athulf, Oliandu or even Mariav have less to say, for example, than Madeira, and their words are upon deaf ears if they speak against Mazalot or Khazorn. However, the League forbids any kind of intervention in the matters of member states by other members. Still, once in the League, a planet stays within it. Domestic policies are therefore left for the member states. Leader of the League is Khazorn, a forged world second only to the capital of hegemony, Shito-Mostok. The most powerful size 7 planet and one of two which have a pristine nanoford. Its status as the most powerful member of the League, therefore the one calling the shots, is undisputed. Mazalot, which is equal in population, lacks military capability. Planets which have it lack nanoforges and their size is much smaller. Even combined, they can't stand to Khazorn. Even if they want too. They have their own problems. Because of the shadow of Kazeron, is the league really free? We have not heard or seen in the game any member trying to leave the league, because once in the league you stay in the league. And why would anyone ruling want to leave? The league is created for the rulers of the member states to have complete freedom. They pay tribute to Kazeron, it keeps them safe from outside threats, lets them do anything they want if it comes to their domestic affairs. For those ruling, who care about only themselves, the league is a perfect polity. Nobody leaves the league doesn't expand into the hegemony, only being made to counter it. It joins conflicts against it, supporting Tritaion in the AI wars. Ship designs and fleet doctrine of the league are also opposite to the hegemony. Ships design of theirs are midline, made by Altair Exotech, while those of hegemony are made by Orion Shipyards, a manufacturer of low-tech ships and a rival of Altair Exotech. Rivalry of those old corporations lives on in form of those two factions, while the corporations are gone or incorporated into the factions. Fight between those two can also be seen therefore as fight between old and new, hegemony remaining in their preservation of old, while the league moves to a new age. Whatever is better for the sector remains to be seen. So how does the league expand? It's a strong faction and a vast faction, second strongest right behind the league. If Opus and its planets would have joined it, it would have been the strongest. The league is a bully. Any colony, any independent polity appearing in the sector which gets stable and strong enough to survive is immediately bullied to join the league. A blockade is sent against the colony to starve it for supplies. It is immediately lifted upon the planet joining the league. It costs the planet 20% of its income. However, there are bonuses that come from joining the league. Hegemony AI inspections aren't a problem as the league deals with them, so AI use is IS. A strong colony can make a deal which reduces the tax to zero, but that needs strength and guts only Great Starsector has. And if one can force the league into this kind of a deal, then the colony may remain independent. Upon joining the league, the planet joining loses its ability to make diplomacy with other factions. Domestic affairs are under planet's control and the league, as for its policy, doesn't intervene. Leaving the league causes immediate hostilities. So why do players hate the league as much as they do hegemony, or even more? Before colony crises, hegemony was hated because of endless AI inspections. Now, hegemony only does around 3 inspections and then leaves Great Starsector's colonies alone. Hegemony only comes after the player if they put AI cores into the structures or, Lord forbid, use an AI as a governor. So, fighting the hegemony is a choice. Fighting the league or joining them is inevitable, as the league goes after the player no matter what. When colonies of Great Starsector are big enough, the league comes. The league is a punishment for doing good and lore reason for why no new colonies are made. Oligarchs of the league demand a 20% and limit the player by taking their diplomacy away from them. To get a good deal, a lot needs to be done, basically a full-on war. Also, the league doesn't fuck around. When the crisis happens, full might of the league is upon the player. The blockade is in place and money from colonies is gone. Hegemony attacks in 3 waves, giving the player time. Also, if the player joins and then leaves once strong enough, good luck. Now you fight whoever the league was fighting and the league. The future of the league. I would love to see the league being expanded in the future patches. Maybe a way to take over the league when the player colonies become strong enough. That would be an interesting thing. Maybe instead there could also be an option to become an ally of the league, being a part of it but having your own diplomacy, only joining defensive conflicts. Much can be done, but that's a topic for another video. Now, thank you for watching. Many thanks to the Great Starsector community. Greatest thanks to the creators of Starsector for giving us such a great game. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked, subscribe if you feel like it, and tell me what you would like to have changed in the league. And other factions, for example, I would really like to see in the future a way to join the league and then slowly become stronger than Kazaron and take control over the league. So they pay you 20% of their income instead, but also, you know, you become like the hegemon over the league. I would like to see that, but you know, I'm not the creator of the game. The creators will do whatever they want, and they have taken the game in a great direction, so whatever they do, I feel it is going to be the best for the game. They gave us a great game. I'm looking forward to see what they are going to do, and I'm looking forward to a full release of the game. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked, subscribe if you feel like it, and goodbye. But remember, join the league, or there is no or. You join or you die. Goodbye.